Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to do the flower effect in resin coasters. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please keep watching. Okay, so let's run down your list of materials. You're going to want some silicone coasters, a measuring cup and a mixing tool, cups and piping bags, mica powders or other colorants such as alcohol ink, small mixing cups for each of your colors, gloves and a respirator because we always want to be safe when working with resin. Of course you need your resin and hardener. I use Dr. Crafty, which I buy off Amazon, hashtag not sponsored. Popsicle sticks to mix the colors into the resin, a separate cup and glitter. And for this set, I'll be using a drop of casting craft pigment, but it's not necessary. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put on our gloves and our respirator. And we are going to measure out equal parts of the resin and the hardener. You should follow the directions on whichever resin you're working with. Some of them go by ratio and some go by volume. And once we get those measured out in equal parts, we are going to mix for 2 to 3 minutes. I tend to overmix, so I usually go for at least 3 minutes when mixing. As you're mixing, don't forget to scrape down the sides of your bowl as well as your mixing tool that you're using. This is going to help you ensure that everything gets mixed thoroughly. You'll be able to tell that it is mixed thoroughly when the cloudiness clears up, and also you no longer see the ripples that you're currently watching on the screen as you're mixing. Once I'm sure that the resin is thoroughly mixed, I'm going to set a timer on my phone. You're going to want to let this resin sit and thicken up so that it encourages the colored resin that you're planning to pipe in the flower pattern to spread out sort of slower and kind of bloom, as it were. This resin on this particular day only took about 18 minutes for it to thicken up to what I usually prefer for my resin coasters or flower coasters, because it was a lot warmer in the basement than it typically is. The time that it takes to thicken up will depend on the environment that you're in, the temperature of the room that you're in, if you've preheated your resin. All of those different things can have an impact on how long it takes for you to get the correct thickness. The correct thickness for this resin should be somewhat mounding as you lift your mixing tool out of the resin. While I'm allowing that to thicken up, I will then add my piping bags to the cups so that once I mix the colored resin, I can pour it into the piping bags easier. It's a lot easier to do it with this bag and cup method. Okay, so after about 18 minutes, I'm now going to pour the resin into the coasters. At this point, my resin had thickened up to the consistency that I like. Once I've poured that resin into the coasters, I'm then going to pour the rest of the resin into both of my mixing cups for the colors. I'm using 2 colors in these coasters, but you can use as many or as little as you like. I'm also going to be adding some resin to the extra cup for the glitter centers. Okay. Next, I'm adding the glitter to the cup of resin. This is just a little bit of resin in here. You want it nice and thick, almost like a paste for your glitter. So I'm going to add the glitter that I need and mix that up well, and then I'm going to place that into the center. Next up, I'm adding the different mica powders to the other 2 resin cups. I'm going to use a little scoop for one and then a popsicle stick for the other. And I'm going to use popsicle sticks to mix this in. And you want to make sure that if you're using mica powders, you mix it in thoroughly so that you don't get little chunks of mica powder left in your resin. And now we're going to add the colored resin to our piping bags. Once you've added your resin to your piping bag, you can go ahead and take that out of the cup. You're going to push everything towards the bottom of your piping bag. You're going to twist the top so that it closes. You're going to snip a small amount of the tip of the piping bag off so that you can use it sort of like you would for decorating a cake. I usually use a paper towel to check to make sure that my hole is the correct size for the piping bag so that I'm getting the correct amount of resin out of it. And I also use it to help clean up any messes that the resin can make when it comes out of the piping bag. And I am just going to pipe flower shapes with this colored resin. It's pretty self-explanatory. Once all of the piping is complete, I'm going to use a heat gun and kind of move the heat around the sides of the coaster to kind of encourage the resin to flow in that way and to bloom. This is something that you don't necessarily have to do, which is why I didn't include the heat gun in the materials list, but it does help encourage the bloom. And that's how you do it. You're going to want to let these sit for at least 24 hours to cure, and then you can come back to unmold them. Stay tuned because voiceover Megan is going away in a second, and it'll just be me in the basement unmolding them for you. So let's get right into that. Alright guys, regular voice Megan is back from the voiceover Megan. I hope you enjoyed her. We are ready to unmold these. I'm excited to see how they look because when I was done piping them, I was not too hopeful. Let's see what we got, shall we? Just loosening my edges. Oh, wow. Holy crud, that is cool looking. Let me see if I can get... Wow. Just look at the 3D effect of that. Let me see if I can get a side view. Yeah, you can kind of see like some of the ruffling. Wow, that is fantabulous. Look at the back. The back is even pretty too. Wow. All right. I have to make 2 sets of these. Obviously, as you all are probably aware by now, it's kind of impossible to make the same exact coaster 2 times in a row. I mean, hell, even the 4 of these are going to look different, and they were made at the same time. That is so cool. These are an order from one of my best friends. So I wanted to make them look good for her. This one kind of crept up the side right here. But man, that is kind of really cool looking. Wow. I love the feathery look, or the petal look of it. Wow, that is so cool. So there they are. There's the 4 coasters that we made. What do you guys think? Do you like them? I like them a lot. By the way, you can't feel the glitter through or anything like that. I think these turned out fantastic. I really, really do. I think they look great. And hopefully the second set turns out just as nice, and hopefully my friend really likes them. She's pregnant, so she ordered these as gifts for the grandparents, I think. So, yeah, that is too cool looking. I will say that the only thing that I don't like about these molds in particular is how shallow they are, which is kind of stupid because I complain about how thick, let me get it, these molds are. Like, this is very, very thick in comparison. So there's not as much room for the colored resin to drop down to, you know, down through the resin, the clear resin. So it is a little bit blobby, but I think they turned out fantastic. I'm really in love with these, and I can't wait to make the second set and see how those turn out. And what I might end up doing is demolding the second set with you guys on this video. So yeah, stay tuned. If I decide not to do it, we'll just cut straight to the glamour shots. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, thanks so much, guys. Take care. Alright, guys. So this is the second set that I'm going to unmold here. So far, I like what I see. Oh, wow. It's completely different than the first set, which, again, is why resin crafters say that it's extremely hard to duplicate things. Like, good luck with it. If you can do it, I highly applaud you, and I want a full tutorial. But it's kind of impossible. So this set looks totally different than the other set as far as, I mean, I did do some things differently, but yeah, like, it's really hard to duplicate things. So so of course, stay tuned for the glamour shots of both of these sets. They turned out fantastic. They look beautiful. So I'm not upset at them at all, by any means. They're definitely different, definitely beautiful. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are a resin crafter, I hope that this tutorial has helped you in some sort of way. And take care, guys.